You're welcome back with Fire Network, Africa Maria with my colleague INNOSSETU from Kampala, Uganda. It's a rainy day, but yeah, we're glad that you have electricity this early and we're so happy that we're here. Unfortunately, yesterday we didn't, of course, come live, guys. We had issues of electricity, but we are definitely gonna pay for the day that we missed yesterday, probably on Saturday, right? So we shall be going live on Saturday to, of course, meet the missed day of yesterday. That was Monday. So today's topic is about Africa. It's your time, so I guess it's our time to shine. And well, this topic has been well chosen after we have been coming, you know, at very various videos from different pan-Africanists and some intellectual African politicians and some other debates that are held on different African platforms that are advocating for Africa's unity all over social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere. So apparently, we realized that Africa is waking up, by the way. A lot of youths are getting to understand what's going on in Africa, all over. So apparently I was so very, very glad and excited when I came across this video that was speaking about Niger, Burkina Faso, and apparently these African countries that have recently had coups and change, in power. Um, when Niger and Burkina Faso withdrew from the French economy control, I should say. Apparently, the West, when we talk about the West, that means we are talking about the Americans, Europe, whatever, those others that have showed, huge interest to Africa. Apparently, they were like, we know Niger is not going to prosper without us. We know you guys cannot manage without us, but apparently we are seeing a very huge, tremendous change that now Niger is the fourth fast growing country in Africa just of recent. Now, for me, I feel like this is the first example like a lot of people should look at that Africa can still stand alone. Africa can still stand alone, and I believe that we can still make it if at all we decide to, of course, create markets of our own. Usually, we've been having issues that our market is being controlled. We have got these minerals. Apparently, everyone asks, like, Africa has minerals. Why are you guys not growing? Now you have minerals. Why are you guys not developing? Yet you say you are the wealthiest, you are the richest, you have the minerals, but why are you not growing? But these people don't know that our market is being controlled. So I assume INNOSSETU I have gold, and I don't have the right to decide the market of my gold. And you are the buyer, and you are the one who is supposed to decide that, you know what, Maria, I'm buying your gold no matter, I'm buying your gold at this amount. Okay. And I think that is the biggest challenge that Africans have been going through, that we do not have a right to decide, or we don't have the powers to decide the price of our commodities all over the international market. So for me, when we see things like, of course, Biden deciding that we are cutting off these countries from AGOA. I mean, well, I commented sometime back on a post that was on YouTube. And I was like trying to tell a brother, like, AGOA has not done anything anyway. So they cut it on now, we still have to. And he was like, "You don't get it." So I asked, "You don't get it? AGOA has helped Africans grow so fast economically, trade wise, and stuff." So I was like asking him, these people always have that weird mentality. It is one thing for me to tell you, Innosetu, that I'm buying your I'm buying your commodity. You're not gonna pay tax, okay, for you bringing your commodity to my country, but I will lower the price. I will lower the price to the extent that I will benefit, to your commodity. So it's like if I decide that you are buying something at like a 200 US dollars, something that is supposed to be 600 US dollars, have you not removed your tax fee already? Even you have got your tax fee twice, the amount. Because if other people are buying a commodity like at $600, that's an example, and for you, you want to buy my commodity at $200, and you are telling me that it is tax free, because I'm not getting any tax from you. So apparently that's why I'm buying it at 200. But remember, there is the other 400. If you calculate well, you will find that people have paid double the taxes indirectly. So I feel like these people always give that overwhelming suggestions to Africans, but they know the reason why. There is no way America is going to say, "You're going to bring your things, we're going to buy them, you're not going to pay any tax for imports, and for exporting commodities." The only tax I would be so excited with are the taxes that are import. Okay, like if we are importing things, if at all, let me say you are buying something from the US and it's probably like $700, how about removing the tax and reduce for those who are importing things in Africa? It is so apparently AGOA has been playing that trick, and I know a lot of Africans don't want to think, they don't want to view the things the way they are, and they are blackmailed in this essence. So apparently, I'm so very grateful to have seen a Salute Detective drop and Innosseti drop. You're welcome, Robert Williams. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Oh, it has been long, by the way. When did we last see Robert Williams?
Sometime.
A month ago. Bro is never here. Robert Williams, it has been a month, by the way.
He has been busy.
No, I think he comes maybe a little bit late or earlier, whatever. But yeah, maybe he has been somewhere else. But now you're gonna.
All right. Uh, what is happening in Niger right about now? Like, what if at all what we hear about is for
Mm,
when it left those countries, it started growing faster and faster and faster.
mm,
And this is a must, and all African countries can grow to this extent because in Africa we have the capability for all this.
mm,
We have it all.
mm,
But reason being, like you talked about market, like exports and imports in
mm,
African countries.
mm,
In Africa, in African countries.
mm,
So whenever Africa produces a product,
mm,
the other people they have to determine the price for the product, and no matter why Africa is making a lot of he's doing a lot of trade with those countries for over some good time, but it's not gaining this. Otherwise, the trade they have done with these countries over years is enough to make Africa rich.
mm.
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 But reason being, these people control that trade.
Mm.
They dictate which prices to give you. They also dictate on which commodity you must take that side.
Mm.
They will tell you that, for example, in Kenya, we want milk from Kenya. We don't want any other
Anything
product here.
else? Yes.
They will tell you in Uganda, we want cotton. They will tell you in Zimbabwe, we want coffee.
Mm.
So they will specify which kind of product they buy from
And
you.
at which price they are
They are
buying.
buying.
So there is no way. I mean,
Mm.
Africans hardly bargain. They hardly decide the
Mm.
price they want,
Mm.
and these people decide, of course, the product they want.
Mm.
So for me, I don't know. I think there are a lot of people. You don't. These issues of writing digits. Me, I said anything that is good, everyone feels a touch of that thing, the existence of that. So you cannot come around and say, Maria, you are not an economist, so you don't understand how things are run. If the existence of an organization cannot reach the bottom line,
Mm.
it has not existed. I don't believe in that.
Mm.
So you don't tell me that we are looking at big traders and we are talking big business. Somebody asked me that, how good are you at economic? And probably you're not a good economist. You don't understand how the things are right. I say I don't understand no shit. You cannot tell me, for example, that for the years
Mm.
France has been controlling Niger.
Mm.
Now that it has let Niger go, Niger has actually become the fourth fastest growing country in Africa. And you go ahead and tell me that the organizations that have been controlling Niger's trade and economy have been doing great. And I also think that we as African people, we have that problem. Recently, you were complaining about the extension. When you read on the extension,
Mm.
so apparently we have some extensions we have here,
Electric station.
electric extension. So INNOSSETU was like, so the electric extension blew actually.
Mm.
I don't know how many, for a very long time I've been buying extensions all the time. At times I'm live here and you see like it cuts off and then the light is off. You have to end the show and stuff like that because you can't replace extension at that time. So Innocent was trying to repair some extension and he read. Apparently, they said what was written on that extension. When I was buying it, I didn't even but
It was like this thing, like it's not sweet. It's for exports
for
only,
exports
not
only,
sold in that
not sold
country.
in United Arab Emirates.
Where it is
Apparently,
where it
it
is
is
and
manufactured
actually
from.
it's not all about UAE. I once had a perfume.
Mm,
It was made, was it in USA? And like it was written on actually only actually it must
exposed only.
it should be exported to Africa only no other country, just made for Africa.
You should have thrown that in as
Yes, I had
well.
it. I had a perfume. Nenga when I knew like it wasn't so sounding.
Oh, you got so sounding.
Yes, it was Gary Maz just for water.
Yeah, but it wasn't sounding.
And whenever like when you're like you use it, you use it, you feel headache.
Mm.
It had over paraffin, over what, over kerosene, over whatever, but it had
It
some.
would cause you that symptoms, yeah,
Mm,
headache stuff.
yeah.
So apparently that means it was not good.
Mm,
And because a lot of don't Africans don't put sanctions
mm,
on things they buy,
mm,
but sanctions are put on the things that are manufactured, produced, or sold by Africans. So these sockets that we apparently had, I don't know, you can say I have like a lot. At times I even don't talk about my socket is bad, my socket, and they're expensive. But I'm somebody who doesn't buy cheap things because I know the next time they'll be spoiled. So you buy something expensive within something like a month, it's already spoiled. You have to buy another because these are tiny things that actually Africa should be manufacturing.
mm,
But we don't even manufacture a matchbox.
mm.
You see, the matchbox even we are using apparently in Uganda are got from India.
Mm.
And the local, the poorest people in India, are the ones who are producing matchboxes.
Mm.
And I think Africans are not so much, concentrating on things like this. The price of the things we
Mm.
manufacture are always sanctioned.
Mm.
The most painful thing is when we decide to produce, the best is produced for export. We export because there is high sanctions, okay, on the things we produce. If they want sugar, they want class.
Mm.
If they want milk, they want class. If they want food, they want class. Anything they want class. But whatever they bring in Africa is residue. We don't receive class things. I don't know, because Africa doesn't have the right to sanction. It doesn't have the right to decide. If AGOA, but I don't know if Biden really understands the things. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. AGOA came in Africa, in other trade, and other countries. It created that umbrella that made it seem, that made some people believe it has made trade easy. But the one thing they don't let people know is that AGOA does not only benefit the countries that are trading in the US for free, but also it benefits the America's economy. You understand? Now, America doesn't put itself in the picture out there. That's why we got a lot of idiots in Africa shouting, America, they bullshit. They give us the market. You see that? No, America doesn't give you that real picture. Actually, it is the one that is benefiting highly. If at all we had the right to say, since we are under Goa, me like, INNOSSETU, I'm definitely gonna transform my maize to UAs for stuff like this. No, you cannot do that. America decides. Okay, you cannot say, since I'm under Goa, I want to sell my maize because it is high quality and it is like this, and I want to do it at this price. America says no, you cannot bring your maize here at that price. We are deciding the price of your maize. We are also deciding we don't want maize, actually we want something else. That's why we have even a lot of GMOs being, we have, and that's why last time you were saying, whenever Africa, there is a system in Uganda, like they say whoever is going to plant GMO fruits has a free market. This is coming from
Ready
AGOA.
market.
AGOA
Ready
says,
market. They give
and
ready
this is what
market.
they
Mm.
do. This is why. So for me, I feel like Joe Biden thinks
And
that we are
they
so
and
stupid.
they say if you are to plant GMO, there is ready market.
Ready
On
market,
top of ready
and
market, you must produce at large
at
scale.
a very large scale. That's what I'm saying. So the Africans, we are not seeing that picture. We are not seeing that picture, and this is why we are actually starving right now. Because apparently, America, AGOA had designed that system that it had demanded a lot of GMO production all over Africa, and that's why people keep on saying AGOA has benefited South Africa. South Africa is one of the largest GMO,
Consumer.
no, producer. Producer. South Africa. So apparently, if you look, even if you go to Google, even if you ask all these guys who are debating about AGOA situation all over Facebook, they'll tell you South Africa has benefited a lot from AGOA. AGOA, when they brought that system to Uganda, apparently whoever was, of course, farming GM or fruits, whichever plant at a very large scale, had the free market. Free market, and all these things were sold to the US, of course, at free tax and free market. But look, who is investing in this? The pharmaceutical companies. Who investing is this? Who is investing in this? All these guys who manufacture pesticides, these guys who manufacture the GMO seeds, these are industries that manufacture all these genetically modified things. Now, for me, there is no, people may not look at this, people may not look at it, but of course they are benefiting highly from these products that they are selling. Remember, you're going to buy. Okay, they're not giving them for free. The only thing they will tell you, if you plant this at a very larger scale, that means you're going to have a ready market. AGOA comes in, America comes in the picture. I'm going to use the word America because, of course, Biden now has claimed AGOA all over. So America comes in, and of course, they have to buy all these commodities, all these fruits, whatever. And everyone knows if I'm planting my watermelons at a very large scale, like at 12 hectares or 20 hectares, America is ready to take this. But remember, the moment you plant these GMOs, your soil gets affected. That means whether you like it or not, the next season you must plant this. So at the end of it all, we are having hunger. Like we are having shortage of food because a lot of people have concentrated on this AGOA demand system that people are so blind to see. If apparently, I was asking this a brother who was like saying AGOA has very much benefited from has benefited a lot from sorry, South Africa has benefited a lot from AGOA. I asked him a question, why are you always hungry? Because South Africa is always hungry. They are rioting all over, they are going to stores, they are breaking stores, they are stealing food, they are stealing everything. So why, if at all you have benefited a lot, why are you hungry? Because the big owning land in South Africa are whites. That's one. Two, they have to comply with their fellow whites, and they do a lot of bullshit because Africa's soil is not important to them. So all the things that have been apparently going on in South Africa, despite the fact they are saying we are growing economically, AGOA has boosted our economy. Whose economy? Not for the black South African, but rather for the white South African and for those people who have been involving themselves in GM. Or there is a comment from a campfire. White people and Arabs should not feel free to walk around in South Africa. We are not angry enough. That's the campfire says that white people and Arabs should not feel free to walk around Africa. We are not angry enough. I guess I do believe, I do agree with the campfire. Now, this is the problem. It's like we have given them the liberty. We have given them that liberty, the liberty they have not given us. I know they always pretend about a lot of things, but we all, you know, I watched this video on TikTok, and apparently I'm like, what? This video, I'm of course deriving this from a campfire's comment. This video got me thinking and a little bit emotional. So we had two guys. They were trying to, of course, I think show the world something. One guy is a Kenyan guy, and another one is a white guy. I don't know. Maybe he's a white guy from UK, I guess. They are all dressed well. There is a difference saying that you are dressing differently. Probably someone doesn't want to touch you, look dirty, or things like that. They're all dressed good, and these guys were going about hugging people. I didn't show you that. I showed you. Did I show? No, forget this one was hugging by force. These two, I think these two other guys I didn't show you. So you would see that. So they had cameras, and these people didn't know. I knew if they knew cameras were capturing them, they would have hugged this black guy. So whenever the black guy would open his arms, like wants to hug, everyone is like they don't want to hug him. In the streets, of course, that was UK. And this white guy did not miss any hug, not even from the black people. So apparently, this black guy did not get hugged from anybody. So everyone was like, yeah, you. Everyone was, you know. So we have, and when these people come to Africa, I see always that there are crazy documentaries. There is one who made a documentary, those sides of Ginger. All the children were running, Muzungu, Muzungu, he was moving around, hugging everybody, Muzungu stuff, Muzungu bush, Muzungu everywhere, but yeah. So, it can say is that maybe we are not angry enough. Because if we were angry enough, maybe we wouldn't see these people walking on the street. This takes us back to South Africa, a country like where apparently people say South Africa is growing rapidly economically, and of course, AGOA has helped South Africa grow. I'm reminding these people that the biggest farmers in South Africa are actually not African South Africans. I'm sorry to say that. Okay, let me use the word black, probably. Maybe people understand well. Because when you say African, people will say those people were here a long time ago, so they're Africans, definitely. Black South Africans, the indigenous people of South Africa, do not own land over there. And the people who own land in South Africa are definitely the Bazungus, that we use that word in South Africa. So these Bazungus are the ones that have much land. They're the ones carrying out agriculture in South Africa. Remember, South Africans were made squatters on their own land. Now, during the apartheid policy, a lot of Bazungus occupied the most fertile lands in South Africa, and until now, some of them have. Um, so that's why, even in Uganda, we still receive fruits from South Africa, like apples, like pears, a lot, and basically they are GMO, they're genetically modified fruits. South Africa is one of the countries in Africa that, of course, began with these genetically modified things. And you can see where the pressure is coming from. You can see who was interested in doing this. And for them, it doesn't matter if the entire population of South Africa depends on genetically modified things. Recently, I remember like a year ago, I made a video about this. I was always asking myself, why is it that a lot of South Africans have, I don't know how to term this because I'm not a medical person. They always have, well, their moods are always a little bit, always in a swings all the time. When they get so angry, they're extremely inhuman. And that's why we see like a lot of them, by the way, even end up killing. Therefore, black people, you see a lot of killings, violence, death, rejection, and all stuffs in South Africa. So one time, I see this video. South Africans were killing another black man, and a 5-year-old child held that stone and hit that man's head, and blood oozed. So I was like, which 5-year-old child is not afraid of blood? Like, seriously, when I was growing up, I was even afraid of seeing blood on my. I'm like, what's this? Now this 5-year-old Omano Mtuwajo doesn't care, is so free, and to seeing someone being burnt to death, even when they're beating, that child is there beating. And I'm even thinking, like, what do these people eat that turns them into this? Someone you tell, I saw another video, like, it is okay. People do a lot of crazy things. Okay, I'm not like trying to say it's only South Africa that does this. A lot of people do a lot of crazy things, but there is when it escalates, and you like ask yourself, why is it too much in this place? So apparently, a parent has issues with a child. A child goes to, a story building and throws herself down, and a child dies. You'll see, maybe is it because South Africa is so big? Maybe there is a lot that's going on because the population is big. I don't know. I don't know, but who is that? Kuletela umuziki we. It's Joe. It's Brown.
So, so
Disconnected. What to Jacob? So when I try to research well, it drives us to the kind of food South Africa is eating right now. And we always look at things as Africans and we skip the fact. We always look at things and we take them slightly. There is a reason why GMOs have been manufactured. There is a reason. This is a weapon, by the way. GMOs are weapons that have been created to destroy the population, to destroy people's genes, I don't know the kind of genes people be having to be acting so violently, so inhuman. I still question myself. But if you look at South Africa as a country, you will realize that South Africa started GMOs long time ago. So apparently we have and secondly, they are the biggest consumers of GMO on the planet, in Africa. So that means, remember, the people who are controlling the agriculture system of South Africa are Bazungus, and these people are so much involved in GMO production. That means GMO is at a large, consumption, at a large consumption scale in South Africa. So which drives me to what I think. I'm like, are these people's emotions being driven by the kind of food they're eating? Are these people's genes being attacked or affected? Because you know what they put in GMOs, of course, they put a lot of, organisms and stuff like that from the laboratory. Could they be attacked? Maybe they are being attacked by the GMOs, or whatever organisms that are being, manufactured in the food that they are eating. I'm yet to, because I'm not a scientist, but that's my thinking. Because at times I'm like, how can such a huge population be behaving in such a weird way? So I believe, because most of us are looking at this. So me, I cannot say that AGOA has been so great. AGOA has been the number one introduction of GMO to Africa. And if you see all these countries that it has been demanding to produce commodities that are free, taxi free, rate, these are the countries that have been, of course, advised to or do with the GM oils and cultivate GM oils. And I know, who is that? Sulaiman Isha. Who is this joining us? But what do you think about this? This AGOA stuff? Did we just have a Mzungu? Muharabu?
Hey, bro, what's up?
Muharabia.
How are you?
Why are you in the dark? Are you an Indian or you are an Arab man? Ate wesotinga njagala kubuuza omu abatta abaana kigenda kudduka. I was going to ask you why it's good that you've run.
So, the system of GMOs in Africa, like you say, are like we always say, the Bazungus, whatever they plan for Africa, like they want to control our political system,
Our genes,
our culture
population.
system, biology, whatever. They want to control the entire Africa. So they look at all aspects of life of an African. So they will try as much as they can to kill, because their work is to kill and destroy and steal, because they are criminals. That is known. So they will try as much as possible to bring anything that can work in the place of the other, so that they can put what they have brought in place, so that they can show their existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course we know these Bazungus, they are the people that use GMOs most.
Ate biyinza okuba tebigirya.
Yeah. So they bring them as a supplementary food for Africans, as well as to kill the indigenous foods we have in Africa. They take the real seeds and bring the GMO seeds here. Yet African land is suitable for all kinds of food. It is fertile, but for you to plant GMO foods, you must be having a fertilizer, which is also an organic, or when it is also artificial fertilizer to plant those GMOs, because because they don't take a lot of time growing. So you must be having fertilizers. You must be having a lot of insecticides, pesticides. All this is to kill African land. kill living organisms in the soil. So because Africa is going to reach an extent, if we are not steady enough, if you are not fit enough, we're going to reach an extent where African soils, and some parts of Africa,
Mm.
they can no longer grow anything
Yeah.
without fertilizers,
Mm.
without growing GMOs.
Mm. True.
And whenever they grow these indigenous seeds, they see as even in books, when you were reading about books, when they're teaching about these GMOs,
Mm.
they will tell you they grow faster, they're beautiful, they're they're big, compared to the African for the African indigenous seeds. They always say,
They have marketed them a lot, and one thing that I feel that is still affecting us because
mm,
we really, really don't. Poverty has, pushed us to a level where we embrace
ignorance. Yeah.
ignorance and
We have
poverty move
poor, we have
along.
poor.
You know what? Like, by the way, like why we have some other leaders taking power is because these people have kept the people poor. And a poor mind, when people are poor, the only thing they think about
It's forward.
is food. They cannot think straight about a lot of things. They don't have hope. They don't think about the future. They think about right now. Now, all I want to eat is now. So you cannot think with an empty stomach. I think this is a problem a lot of people experience. Usually, we see it is important that we are kept poor because we shall be so desperate to embrace every system. We shall be so very desperate to embrace whatever they bring on a plate. So long as we see that this is benefiting us, even if it is just for a day, we usually don't focus, for the future. And but I think these issues should be addressed now that we are seeing different countries that have had a touch of Africa coming out. Like we say, the Niger now is growing so fast. Before, when Niger said that they want to do away with the France, everyone was like, "You will come back." So, oh, sorry. I think the hungry because I have a hungry stomach and that's nothing.
It doesn't think straight.
But me, I'm thinking.
Our groceries. Sorry.
Well, oh my god. All right, so
Talking about France living in Nigeria.
so now now Nigeria is like has been graded like the fourth fastest growing country, and they predict by 2023, 24, that's next year, it will be like around the sixth to, of course, fifth all over the world, which is a very tremendous growth. Um, if it has been able to do that within a shortest time, this is the clear. Mutinga, mukwano.
TikTok. Kende mwazi. Mm.
So that should be an example that Africa is growing, and we can still do this alone.
Mm.
And unfortunately, the people that we would have entrusted
Mm.
are apparently are just as puppets
Mm.
as the current leaders that we have. Recently, you saw Julius Malema, and so your guy is so trusting that Julius Malema of South Africa.
Mm.
I don't trust that guy. I don't trust that guy.
Mm.
Who are those people?
Buyindi.
Boy, these Indians, what do they want?
Oswaldo has joined us.
Well, brother.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
hi,
you?
bro. We are from we are from Africa. How are you? How are you, Banji? How are you doing? All right. Where are you, of course, chatting from? Where are you from? Like,
No,
you're from
nice.
Nigeria. Wow, that's a good thing. How is Nigeria? How is Nigeria? I see you're wearing a force uniform. I don't know whether it's a police uniform or
Mm, yeah.
are you a Nigerian police officer or a security personnel? Your what, Mr. Benji? You're a security.
Alright.
All right, that's beautiful. So Benji, apparently, are you very satisfied with the Tinubu, your president? Are you excited that Tinubu is your president in Nigeria? The network is so bad. Mm-mm. We're typing it. Ahora la security personnel hace corazón. So yeah, even if you're with the Banji, you can still type on our screen.
Mm.
So Banji, I think you are I'm seeing Oswado. Oswado has just joined us. Oswado, you're welcome on Black of Fire Network. I don't know why it took it live on and off. Of course, Banji. Banji, do you hear me? Hello?
Banji.
Banji from Nigeria. Nawe nja kugoba ku live yange gwe maanyi. Nekikyono nga tebakometinga. Banji. Banji, do you hear me?
Hey, no. Tunafuna empeta abasajja bakulamaberako nnyo. At least oliwo okulaba nti yongeri.
Akuwako break. Banji, do you hear me? Okay, Banji, I started following us. Thank you so much for that follow, Banji. But maybe you're on a call probably, but I wanted to ask you a little question about Nigeria. Oh, bro, he's a police officer.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I guess he will not be able to answer such kind of huge questions.
He will.
But we
He
can
hasn't
still ask him
said.
some slight little bit questions. No, you cannot cause him trouble. You cannot cause him trouble besides his you can see this.
I don't know, Monena,
He's
and
a
I
yeah.
doing
I think he's a police officer and
lost the connection. I will look his connections and resume.
I don't know. Bambi has one of a lighter bit gallery.
Ameze no kufuna kifo ki ayinza kufuna ekifo kirungi ameze
Yeah.
mutoyi.
Banji, hi.
He's getting a safer area. The other area had a lot of ambience.
We're good. I wanted to ask you a question. You sorry? All right. Do you okay, that's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Banji, do you have GMOs? That's genetically modified foods in Nigeria. Like, do you have GMOs being sold in Nigerian markets? That GMOs, like genetically modified food, being sold on Nigerian markets? How, bro? Yeah. Yeah, I guess he didn't. Okay, yeah, I guess your network is not good. That's why you've not had us, and that's why you cannot hear us clearly. Because I can see you're responding differently to the questions. So I guess we have a distortion problem. All right, so how is your network now? All right, yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, bye, thank you. All right. All right. Okay, so apparently we had a Nigerian brother. Unfortunately, we can say that he cannot hear us. And Jaco ending a live your TikTok. No, again, that was okay.
All right. Okay,
Alright.
Banji. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I think we lost at times did I ask him that huge question? How can you ask him about
He can't.
it is that no not everyone can do that live
No,
and
it looks like
online.
an insult.
Yeah.
Prophet will be wherever. Yes, yeah.
Jared Newman, Mr. Kate, to welcome Mary. So sorry, there is somebody who is on our live and Bambi has been there. So come getting a call this guy for a very long time, and let me get to see Try watching later.
I don't know the name, but I know it's very. It's
Tujeni batulala wano yabadde atulaba bambi for a very long time. All right, so I guess that's the problem. So naye wanabwiwa banga tewali network.
Hmm?
Watya nga tewali network.
No, when the battery is low,
Mm.
it tries to interfere with the network.
Okay, kati tufokasinge ku YouTube topic.
Mm.
Yogerako mpulira ebbogo
Genda bikyema ebyo.
bine mbeera bwereere.
A t-shirt. So currently currently we had someone from Nigeria. However, he was a security personnel, so I really don't know whether he was even able to answer the questions, because we're like the first question we wanted to ask him how the president is doing. I don't know that question.
How they feel about it.
How they
It
feel
is
about
great.
it. And for me, actually, for me, I don't think it was all about network problem. He had about the question. He had about the question. But he had to hide around about the question, but he had about this. Then second, we had to ask him about the GMOs, how they're working in Nigeria. Uh,
Still, he asked some other things.
Hey, see, he diverted to some. I don't know whether that's how things move in Nigeria, but I know the GMO consumption in Africa is too much. However, very many East African countries, they ban the GMOs. They are now realizing that GMOs, they are GMOs. Okay. However, mostly for East African countries, they banned a direct importation of these GMOs to those East African countries. However, they still imported because we watch very many shows on TVs, and you listen on radios how these things are. eh, how these things are advertised on those media stations, how they advertise. They tell you about the ready market, they tell you how they grow fast, they tell you how they are resistant to certain kind of they are resistant weather, how they are resistant to pests and diseases. But all these things are not true. I remember, Maria, I told you about how I bought certain maize. Yeah, how I bought maize, how I bought a GMO maize, and like after growing during that time of harvesting, like the maize already had weevils on harvesting. Yet they are the same maize that is advertised on media. This is the
On
same maize.
TV.
This is the yeah. And whenever you go in for buying seeds, like for seeds to plant, they are the things that you're given by these people. So, like these people, like what they always do in the control of Africa, eh, what they do to control Africa, they yakunda, they yakunda. These people, they have done a lot they look at all perspectives of life. So they squeeze you according to perspectives of life. Hmm? They look at culture, they've killed culture. They look at our social being, they've killed our social being.
Because by the food is part of culture, so
Because we have our culture food by that.
and the one that builds us and makes us strong and JT Mugende.
So they look at that and of course try by all means of how they try means of they look for ways on how to end it, of course, the war of ending indigenous seeds by bringing GMOs and killing their.
Playing out a video cargo.
Hmm?
Sharing the video.
Hello.
Aka Uganda ngeri bagisalayo okuva kwagoowa. Bateeka kagoowa.
Eh? Uganda. Yeah? Uganda has criticized a US decision. Nikatobika jukira kino. Natebikyaka.
Ekyo nga butwalirako obudde.
To Uganda and that country. Well, let's continue the conversation around AGOA and take it to Uganda and that country criticizing the United States' decision to remove it from the major trade pact. The United States announcing earlier in the week that it was cutting Uganda from the AGOA summit from January next year. President Joe Biden citing gross violations of human rights and not complying with the criteria. But Kampala is warning that the move could harm the farmers and small businesses. The Central African Republic, Gabon, and Niger have also been snubbed from the forum. Let's speak now to the writer and commentator on African affairs. His name, Joseph Ochieno, who joins us now for this conversation. Mr. Ochieno, thank you very much for your time. So let's begin with perhaps how beneficial AGOA has been for Uganda. Has it been a useful agreement that has been put to good use in that country?
I mean, quite clearly, the benefits for AGOA and the principle of AGOA means that any nation state included in the program should benefit. And of course, particularly that it would benefit small industries, small-scale industries, and many of those ones who do not hit the Johannesburg Stock Exchange numbers or figures or names. And in many cases, those that employ very ordinarily low-level, low-key employees about whom you and I not necessarily hear. So it's extremely important. But that said, this is a political move by the US, absolutely right. Of course, it's their privilege, their nation states. AGOA came into the year 2000. At the time, I was ahead of an external bureau of Uganda People's Congress in the UK, and an opposition political party, and we were in exile. Political parties were banned in Uganda. So AGOA came in, and around that time, 2 US presidents visited Uganda. So talking human rights, around the same time, most of northern Uganda was the citizens who live in concentration camps. So quite clearly, this is politics which sometimes unfortunately is played with the citizenry of the African continent. I hope the South African conference, as it takes place, that leaders look at really the challenges and the concerns raised by the US, which are very legitimate, but also that Africans look slightly much more inward to see how best we're able to expand, if you like, our industrial bases, expand our capacities and markets, and also create possibilities in which then we are competitive enough so that we don't have to go and beg for, if you like, for tax exemptions in nation states like South Africa. As it were, it happens that early this morning I was on a television set with one of the junior ministers for foreign affairs in Uganda, and it was actually being rather defensive, which is rather quite unfortunate. The guy is a friend of mine and an old school colleague of mine, but they tend to argue dismissively that this thing will not impact on the citizenry. Of course it does. In 2020, when in 2000 or thereabout, when this matter was coming up, and it was an opportunity for all, simply because you then go ahead and disagree politically, it does not mean therefore that you go ahead and dismiss, the impact Also, in today's independent publication, the Monitor newspaper in Uganda, the Minister of State for National Guidance suggests that very apparently, which is basic at the core of the human rights issues here, is linked, if you like, to the nuanced questions to homosexuality, a bill, legislation which was passed in Uganda recently. That as it may, regardless of political opinions, I just don't know who advised the Ugandan authorities to take bait on this so that we are ending in a situation in which whatever happens at the top, it is the average Ugandan who's bound to suffer. But that said, and finally conclusively on this, it's not necessarily the case that AGOA will mean the end of life for the average Ugandan, the end of life for industry in this country. The tie and the shirt that I'm putting on is from Marks and Spencer's in the UK. My then political party, UPC, that was toppled by Idi Amin in the 60s, managed to organize this country to push a situation in which Uganda used to export fabrics to the topmost companies in the UK and the US. So it is still possible that we're able to live without AGOA, but we cannot dismiss the impact of AGOA on, if you like, particularly small industry.
When you say that government has been rather dismissive of the United States decision to terminate AGOA for Uganda, I'd like you to put it into words, particularly coming from the government authorities. What exactly is the wording that they are putting to this?
One, as I said, of the Minister for National Guidance is the suggestion that they will not be coerced or blackmailed when it comes to the question of their values. As I said, those are very apparent nuances to the question of homosexuality. But beyond that, when you talk about human rights, it's not only about homosexuality. It's the fact that just the other week, the official leader of opposition in Uganda was whisked off an aircraft onto his home. Many of the legislators at the moment, the last several weeks, are boycotting Parliament simply because they're raising concerns about missing citizens, people who are missing, people who are in concentration, rather if you like, unclassified detention centers and ungazetted, as it were. And despite the public outcry, no formal response has been received by the state. So it's really some of these other things. By the way, one of the other ones very quickly. Female legislators did enough in front of the National Assembly. So those are some of the other issues that you cannot dismiss, that the U.S. is blackmailing you on questions of your own values. And if your own values, I don't know what those values are. Finally, one of the things that the U.S. raises is the question for child labor in this country. You can't talk child labor and dismiss it as blackmail. It's important. It's one of those things that should really be very, very close to the heart of any average African government or African policy today in terms of conversation. These are things that we need to stop. But we also need to know that the regime in Kampala is a regime that used child soldiers as part of his campaign for coming into government. So maybe some of these things are normalities. But no, we want to go beyond 2023 so that, when we have a parliamentary system, we must be able to respect the institutions of parliament. When we say we are a democracy, we must be acting in such a manner that, yes, we are part of a global community, but does not mean, therefore, that we pick and choose what aspect of democracy applies and what aspect of human rights does apply to us. Finally, on the homosexuality question, it happens to be the case that one of the very documented cases over 25 years ago was the case in which Ugandan state authorities, men were reported, and this is on, you can see the public domain, Ugandan soldiers, male soldiers, raped men in northern Ugandan concentration camps over Chile. So if they did that 25 years ago, is it the guys who still come back today and simply say that they're so fundamentally opposed to homosexuality that anybody who's involved in the practice is subjected to death penalty? That is hypocrisy from both sides, isn't it?
Yeah. Mr. Ochieng, let's talk about what precipitated this. And for some people that would have watched developments in Uganda recently, it'll be easy for them to try and draw conclusions that this has to have been about just the homosexuality bill, which was enacted not so long ago. And we even saw marches, by the way, even here in Johannesburg, by some political parties saying that this is wrong, what the Ugandan government is doing. But there are other issues, perhaps, that would have galvanized the United States to act in this way. For example, the elections period, we all know and we would have seen the treatment of opposition leaders in that country.
Yeah.
You spoke about abductions that perhaps are still on the go. Are all of these that I'm mentioning, do you think that it is indeed what has led the United States to say human rights violations, clearly you do not put a premium on that and we cannot associate, therefore?
No, you're absolutely right. And as I suggested, as nuance in one of my responses, that no, this is not only about, if you like, sweeping human rights violations per se. I simply said that when Uganda was listed into enjoy this privilege, Uganda was also blessed by visits by up to 2 U.S. Presidents. At the time, Uganda was the destination of choice for U.S. Leaders and political activists. But at the time, Uganda had political parties banned, and at the time, Uganda was subjecting part of its own citizenry, northern Uganda, if you like, to a genocidal war. So really, it's not really about human rights per se. It is the case that the relationship between the U.S. and the current Ugandan authorities is on a downward trajectory. I'm not sure whether it's going to change anytime soon. It is the case that's also about geopolitics. Mr. Museveni managed to play these guys substantially in the Great Lakes region. Remember, Museveni and Kagame nearly sent Africa to its first World War, drawing up to and including your South Africa and SADC, as part of SADC at the time, Zimbabwe and Angola and others. In Congo, basically, that very well-known 90s kind of conflict. Uganda was at the heart of this, Kagame was at the heart of it, and it was basically they're playing, if you like, head boy policy for global exploitation. That has dynamically changed. Uganda then was substantially a good boy in terms of whipping in, if you like, the underbelly of the Arab world, meaning the Sudan at the time. It no longer applies. Relations have changed, and as I say, Russia is now a player, China is a bigger player, and these days even Turkey can come around and play games. And whatever the case, I think if you're talking usefulness and strategic politics, it is geopolitics, it's economics, it's human rights, but it's also the case that Mr. Museveni is a tired man, and surely people who've been having him as a friend in the last 40 years must also really be reviewing their position. So it's all those plus every other dirty sin and that you committed 10 years ago and was let off, and now today you go ahead and play brick partnership. As I said, Mr. Museveni played brick partnership with the homosexuality legislation. This Uganda's statute books had sufficient provisions to deal with the matters of homosexuality without necessarily enacting a new law. So whether Mr. Museveni was trying to taste the waters the other end and it simply did not work, it may be something that has just backfired.
Joseph Ochieno, thank you very much for your insights here. He is a writer and commentator on African affairs.
Did you hear that? You know, from the words Otieno, Miss Otieno represented things that I had not noticed. But basically, the reason why we played that video is, at times we say things and people may not really understand. Otieno was in UPC political party, Uganda People's Congress. And he said by 2000, of course, that's when AGOA officials were sent to Uganda, that even Uganda President Wabeyali Amang. It's when Uganda made deals, or when Uganda signed agreements with AGOA, apparently, with the delegates from the United States of America at that time. Otieno goes ahead and tells us that in 2000, by the time US delegates were signing AGOA agreements with the Ugandan government, we had human rights violation taking place, because at that time he himself was in exile, and I had lots of opposition leaders or opposition participants or um, or people who were at the sides of the opposition were, in exile at that time. And the US knew about this because it was so rampant, it was all over the news. So, of course, I think of.
Mm.
So, now, if America really came to sign agreements with Uganda at that time where there was a lot of human rights violation, that means the eviction of Uganda's involvement with AGOA, of course, which is supposed to take action by January next year, is beyond human rights but rather political.
Mm.
And I do really agree with him
Mm.
because I was saying that Uganda has not experienced any new thing.
Mm.
Apart from the homosexuality thing, Uganda has not experienced something big. Okujjako kyagambye ekyabasiyazi bana abasajja kibaliboolya nnyo. I've never had that. I would have had that.
Nga biri buli wamu tewagana.
Naye mbw abasirikale ono alimbye
Eh?
akirimbye
Bibiri.
bamusajja ne bali abakyoli b'omu Northern alimbye.
No, like it can come in a way that, as a political wars, or yes, someone can say, can plan a plot for that. It changes upon the child on big scale, which take it, naye nga it happened. Waliwo propaganda natayisika ku mpewo. I tell you. That's why you're rejecting his.
No, ekintu ekyo kyali so rampant. Manyi nze nakolako mu North. Most of the things that I saw in that place where we had a lot abantu mutalina kutu mutalina nyindo manyo. Nenga it was the Lord Resistance Army Konyi ye yakolanga ebintu ebyo ng'asala abantu abo. If you recall, most of the people abaagenda mu kulwana olutalo Konyi baali baana bato. Like abaali mu magye at that time. Baali baana bato. Jjukira magye used to recruit n'abali 14. Ekya 18 ino kyakatandika. Kati abantu nabo yatwala mu North to fight. Baali ba teenagers. Naye teenagers baali bafighting abamukamukamu. Ekintu kyesikkiriza ngu it was happening. Baali bafightinga basajja bakulu. Museveni yatwala abaana abato 14 to 18 years. Basiyaga abantu abakulu abo bazeeyi abaali mu nsiko.
It might have been kiyinza okuba nga tekyali on a large scale naye nga kiyinza okuba nga kyali.
Ate n'othyeru mujapadola mujapadola muno
nze nemujapadola nze nemujapadola
bijja byo mu kyalo kisibe amajapa. So whatever. So from all those the statistics and what he said, I do really agree. For me, a lot is going on now. These people always concentrate where they want. They are trying to plot something that a lot of people haven't discovered yet. I don't know how important Uganda is becoming now to the world, but Uganda getting these minerals is also becoming a problem. Like I said, these people always concentrate on it. I went to
Gati.
Yeah, tebalina kawuuga. Take us back. So so when you look at I feel like the discovery of minerals in Uganda is going to become probably an issue, because now I'm trying to see how people are trying to plot. This is why this man said that AGOA, USA removing Uganda from AGOA, the AGOA organization, is nothing to has nothing to do with human rights situation in Uganda, because in 2000, when the delegates from the United States of America came to Uganda at that time, AGOA itself to sign the agreements and also add Uganda on AGOA, there is still the violation was still taking place. A lot of rights were being violated at that time. A lot of people were in exile. So why right now? Why now? It takes me back to what I spoke about last week, that these people always plot. They plot, they plan, and they show the world. I'm giving you the example of Libya. When they tried to show, the media tried to show us that Libya was in a bad state. Check it out. A lot, people are so tired of Gaddafi. They were those very people. They were the ones who were tired of Gaddafi. All right.
People are rioting every day because of the government.
You saw the story of Saddam Hussein.
We saw a
Whenever
lot
they
of
want,
films.
a lot of movies, a lot of sorry things. If you're someone who didn't know politics, you would become an idiot. They want you to. So I think they're trying to plan something. I don't know why they have chosen, they have decided to pick or to have huge interest in Uganda of recent. Yet we have not experienced anything new. In fact, I feel like we have even improved to what we used to experience. A lot of people in Uganda didn't know they are right. A lot of things were being, now it is very hard to find a man fighting a Ugandan woman and going scot-free. Those days, someone could, a lot of women underwent through violence and stuff like that, but now they know that you cannot just beat me, stuff like, a lot of things happened, and the world was seeing. We have seen a lot of women. There is a video Keith last time was trying to show a Ugandan woman, went to, she was really seeking for asylum because of sexual harassment or from the boss and stuff like that. So when she spoke about this, the boss, this man had to, of course, wherever this woman was going to look for a job, I think the guy had big connection. I'm not sure of this story because I only had it from online. I didn't see the story. I didn't see it all over news in Uganda. But now abantu baba asylum take away the story bafuna citizenship. So that's why me, I don't usually trust those people.
By the way, but this wasn't an asylum when the other guy, the comedian, Olika Pali, about it. We are getting that Mzungu woman. The guy went live and was like, I grew from a poor family. I don't have parents. Mwana.
Choka kusajja mkulu. Kati kumusajja mkulu parent omwagalaje. Abuyinti kati sawa zino, like, I'm sorry to say. Kati sawa zino otanga blaming, I didn't go with that dad. Kati
Leave alone even that one. Like, our mom didn't prepare for us, at this age.
Well, so your story, Trevor, I didn't buy it a lot, but I tried to refer the situation to that story. So if such kind of scenarios happened in 2000, yet United States of America sent its delegates to sign the AGOA agreement with Uganda, then why is it coming out right now? Why has it decided to come out right now and see and look into situations of a kind? So that's why I say I agree with this very man 100% that this eviction is more than a human right level thing. Of course, politics. So apparently, if you signed that agreement in 2000, the AGOA agreement in 2000, where Ugandans were being violated, where we saw human rights violation increment in Uganda at that time, but you went ahead and signed these agreements anyway, and now you're trying to say we are withdrawing you from this simply because you are violating the rights. I believe it is more than the rights to political issues. And this is something that usually people skip. And some other people are saying, anyway, it is not the Ugandan farmers, so you're punishing the Ugandan farmers. And for us, we are not involved in the political things. We are also being violated. I guess you cannot talk about, if at all, I don't know. America is a little bit hypocritical.
Mm,
So if now you're Museveni is not the farmer,
mm,
the president is not the farmer, the parliament is not the farmer. So apparently, maybe they're also violating the rights of the farmers, if at all we look at it that way. So
mm,
I feel like this is more, there is more to this than what meets the eyes. And unfortunately, we are, by the way, I'm seeing Keith is right here.
the same right.
Keith,
He is right. He is
I see.
actually.
I see you found. I see you found the TikTok channel, but I think your internet went down on it. I see you. I see you found the account, but I think your internet went down or something. But
yeah, the
yeah. So
internet went down. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm.
so did you guys find Seto his place?
Yeah, we did. The whole
Uh
of
oh.
yesterday. Ooh.
So you're not okay. So your mom. Okay. So now you're at a place where your mom ain't gonna make you do shit no more. So, how
We're
dare
gonna
you, Seto,
yeah.
move closer to that damn Maria teaching you weird thoughts about Jesus, nigga. Anyway, yeah, I'm not used to seeing you guys come on this early shit. Wow, I don't know how to act.
Be excited, and we are going to be coming this early. By the way, we have
Yeah,
always had, said to travels from pub, but now he's close to Rastas. We're going to be here early, early, early,
and they're gonna be here early. He's got, you know. Oh yeah, it's got to
early
see you.
for a long time, unless when power cuts us short. But we shall be early and for a long time. Like,
Well, then, that means okay. That means you can go get. Got to send you guys money for groceries, man. You go get groceries, huh? And actually eat on at a regular time. Oh, watch out.
mhm. True, we shall be coming early now since said it's
So what are you
closed.
guys
So
talking about? I
no,
can't. I, I was asking, what are you guys talking about?
we actually how you've come on, you have even moved like an hour and a half. Where
Huh?
did we start from? We've talked
Yeah,
about a
you guys
lot.
been up in.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you guys been on here an hour and a half. Yeah. Damn. You guys been, damn, it's been that long. I just remember you said you guys were going live. Damn, that was an hour and a half ago. Shit, time flies. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what we're talking about, how African countries are waking up. Like it is our time for Africa to wake up, and it is our time now to see ourselves prosper.
Yeah.
Like the recent success in Nigeria, like seeing it as a fastest growing economy in Africa as a
Yeah, that's
whole.
what I was showing. That you guys must have been listening to me and Joby. I was telling Joby. I said, you see Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, now become fastest growing economies in Africa because they got now control of their own resources and that can benefit them. So this fake democracy that the white man tell 'em, hey, we gotta go stop Niger and them and bring in our democracy again. This fake democracy. Family, you can't vote yourself out of oppression that the white man has put on you. All their systems of government were set up to keep you impoverished and docile. So
Mm,
he said, so you see, um, so what I was talking about Joby on Joby's show before I came over to you guys' show, um,
mm.
because I was actually on Joby's show when Maria was trying to access the account and the thing kept popping in. I said, oh shit, kept messing up my phone on StreamYard. I said, I was like, what's the number? What's the number? Maria, hurry up, shit. Cause anyway, so the Africans practice something I said through colonization. You practice dirt bag behavior. And I had to go through that with Maria. No, I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep it private. I had to have a
Mm,
conversation with some employees about their dirt bag behavior. How you don't see each other as brothers and sisters and practice appropriate behavior to each other, you practice inappropriate behavior. Because
mm,
should no Chinese, Arab, or Indian be able to set up any kind of business in Africa and actually have it make money off of African people? You're
mm,
supposed to not even patronize it because you call it being on code. And
mm,
so I'm not sure what country this was, but I appreciate other people for being honest. He was out in the Congo, Zimbabwe, or South Africa when this Chinese man told this African guy, said, "You black people are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet." I loved it. He said, "Black guy, what? You people are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. You allow people to dominate you. People." He said, "I'm a foreigner. I'll come into Africa and you'll patronize my store, give me your money. But the black person store next to me, you refuse to go over there because you tell me he's not part of your tribe." Some
mm,
idiotic shit. You're too stupid. This is what the Chinese man, I appreciate them. I love that they brutally honest. You're too
mm,
stupid to know that these people are you. You don't know you can't see another African and know he's you, but you calling them your goofy tribal shit. That's why you're dominated. Why people exploit you. So, um, understanding Africans taking Africa back, like in Burkina Faso, and that's the same thing. When Maria was telling me about how you had to cut your hair as a woman, and you got to cut your hair and all that shit you do in Kenya. Ideal, you taught self hate from a child. Everything is African is bad. You being who you are is bad. In your own continent, you supposed to
mhm,
got independence 60 years ago. You still being taught self hate from the European what they left. And so I was loving that Ibrahim Torre told the children, man, had to pass a law in an African country that you're allowed to grow your hair as an African, and it can be
mm,
African, except you get beat, whipped, and hit. What? Imagine that. 60 supposed to have independence, and just now you got a law finally getting passed that Africans can allow to be African and grow their hair like African people, like it used to. Had to pass a law to tell the teachers of that country, you bet not touch these children. If you hit them, I'm locking you up. That's how bad the indoctrination become. You couldn't even wear your own hair as an African. You're like, what? So,
mm,
um, so it's the youth that always cause revolution. The youth that are finally waking up. They don't want to hear from. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear shit from set those dumbass mamas. Sorry, mama, shut the fuck up. You be quiet. They don't want to hear shit.
mm,
Youth, especially on TikTok, youth are realizing they got a bad deal. Europeans never left. They put in their puppets, and Africa's people have been left in poverty because you're in something called a dilemma and some called a what's the right word for it? A it's not a paradigm. It's well something else because how can it be that Africans sit on the richest continent on the planet, but Africans are poor? How can this be that you sit on the richest continent on the planet, but you're impoverished? All African countries are impoverished. African people are impoverished. How can that be? You sit on the richest continent on the planet. It's not even arguable. Nobody's going to argue that Africa. That's why when everybody's there again, the United Arab Emirates, the Chinese, the Turkish, they're there because you're wealthy, and they're going to dominate you because you're ignorant, and you also discombobulated. You practice dirt bag behaviors. African people, you refuse to unite. You refuse what they call get on code. You're supposed to only trade with other African people. We're
mm,
supposed to deal with other African people. Same way they don't, you can't go to no other country as an African, put your store up in China, India, Abu Dhabi, and have them come visit your store and spend money on you. They're going to say, your shit's going to remain empty and it's going to close. Because the Indian Chinese not gonna go, oh, it's a new African store up. Let's see what this African has. What is he selling here? they gonna go right past your shit, and your shit
Mm,
gonna close. And they tell you openly. I love what they tell you that we don't do business with you niggas. We don't do business with you. Why would we
true.
do that? All our business is with us. They'll tell you in your face. They do in America. And we just, and I told you, you're the same. See, this is how silly Tempo's mom, Seto's mom is. She thinks the African out the diaspora is different. The African practice in the diaspora the same dirtbag behavior. They'll
Mm.
put the white man, put the Chinese people all in our communities, gave them businesses in our in black communities, and black people will go patronize those communities, but they will not patronize any black stores. And so the Asians get rich, the Arabs get rich off of black people. They don't give nothing back to the community, back to black people, and black people keep patronizing these stores. And like I told you, the people, the Chinese that took over Jamaica, took it over. You'll find
Mm.
the Chinese own the stores, and since your mom doesn't know a Jamaicans and African, the Africans are the ones working, and the Chinese saying, "Nigga, get back to work." While they
Mm.
paying them hardly nothing, because we were laughing about Joby. We were laughing about Joby. I was trying to infer to people, Seto. I had to do a little. I don't know if I don't know if Maria told you what happened or not. I'm gonna keep it quiet. I don't know if Maria told you what happened or not. Whether I had to straighten out some people and look and understand how they lucky to work where they're at. So Joby was telling about the story how she working for these Chinese motherfuckers that were working her 9 hours a day. I said, "Well, Joby, what was your hours? Can you imagine? I'm working from 8 to 5. Man, you working 9 hours a day?" She said, "I got paid. I paid." She was calculating. So I got paid $1.32 a day. I said, "What? $1.32 for 9 hours of work?" Said, imagine you working at Black Eye Fire. You may be working 5, 6 hours a day, which you getting paid. He said, "I already tell them they blessed around here. They better act like they got some sense." Imagine. He said, "It is all working with GMO shit. I was counting these seeds." I said, "Yeah, it was real labor, right? What you sitting around on the couch talking on the mic, was it?" Hell no. He said, "Hell no." So because we were talking about the people in Bangladesh rioting because they're only making $2 a day and their hours are 15 hours a day.
Mm.
Bangladesh, the other country that used to be part of India, they're now rioting because
Mm.
they work 18 hours a day for $2.
What?
Yeah,
What?
you can look. You got a computer? Look it up. Look it up,
But
Maria. You
But,
got a computer
but
right there.
Bangladesh.
Say Bangladesh, which is
that
part of
doesn't.
now, which used to be India. Said they're
Hmm?
riding. Say Bangladeshis riding over making $2 a day. They say they want to at least make $6. $6. And you know,
Bangladesh rioting.
yeah, they riding. They're protesting because they want to at least make $6 a day. Like I say, I pay you guys more than that a day, and you don't work no 18 hours either. I'm
Mm.
Seto, I think I'm about to get you work. I'm about to work you 18 hours a day, Seto. You got too easy. You're not in Bangladesh.
Not a
They
pay
make
hike, but plea for justice for the garment workers of Bangladesh workers at a garment factory in Dhaka. No, this I think is another.
well, it's not wrong with that. It's telling you it's unrest in the country right now because they're only making $2 a day and they want at least $6. They want at least a minute. They at least want $6 a day, Maria. So they at least want
Six
$6.
hours.
6 hours, 16.
Ogami 16 hours, 18 hours.
It's like 16 or 18 hours, something like that. We had looked it up, 16 or 18 hours. I know it's a long. I know it's a lot of. I know they ain't sitting on no couch chilling talking.
Hmm.
They they doing hard labor with $2 a day. but 16, 18 hours a day work. So
Ah,
Eh?
there is no time for sleeping.
but imagine if one of these Bangladeshis come to America, I mean, and come to Africa, you treat him like he's your god. You open some, he's all poor in
Yeah.
Bangladesh. You come to there, and, oh, this Bangladesh, because they're really Indians, because the country broke up. You guys don't know about Indian history. Pakistan was part of India, and so was Bangladesh. These are the individuals that said we don't want to be part of India because we're Muslim, and
Mm,
most of India is Hindu. So they said, well, we want to break up because
mm,
in the beginning, Bangladesh was known as Eastern Pakistan, and then they
mm,
changed their name. They were Eastern Pakistan because you had the other Pakistan broke up from the western part of India, and then they were the other part of India on the eastern side. First they named themselves East Pakistan. They said, ah, that's a stupid name. So they named themselves Bangladesh. They said, that's a stupid name. I mean,
mm.
do this for me, Maria. Do this for me. Let me look this up. Say, when did Bangladesh change its name from East Pakistan? What year was that? So when did Bangladesh change its name from East Pakistan? Because I guess they figured they said, "Oh, that's a stupid name, East Pakistan."
Bang.
So when did Bangladesh change its name from East Pakistan? That is stupid. You have one Pakistan since you to the east, you go to East Pakistan. That is stupid. I agree. At least they realized it was. I agree. It is stupid. I agree.
Maybe they're not confident. They're not confident about their country.
Let's give you a date, Maria. Give you a date.
That on the 16th December 1971.
Okay, so they changed the name and said it. Okay, so they stayed that way about 20 years then. 20, cause that'd be like what 1948. So about 25 years they was East Pakistan. Somebody probably said this is stupid.
They are saying on the 16th December 1971, the territory of East Pakistan was handed over to the Indian Army under the surrender agreement from West Pakistan, and in the similar agreement became the newly independent state of Bangladesh.
Yeah, they were East Pakistan because they were like the Muslim brothers, but they were in the eastern part of India. So the west, so so the western part of the country was that, hey, we're gonna break out this part of India, we're gonna name it Pakistan. So these other morons say, okay, well we're in the east, we'll name ourselves East Pakistan. And somebody probably said, hey, this is stupid, East Pakistan. You know, if people would ask you, hey man, where you from? I'm from East
Bangladesh.
Pakistan. You mean no, man? You mean Pakistan? No, I'm from East Pakistan. Do you mean Pakistan? No, I'm East Pakistani. What the hell is that? So now they back. So now they're Bangladeshis, Maria. I'm now Bangladeshi. So but understand they're right. Well, whether they call themselves East Pakistanis or Bangladeshis, they're broke as fuck either way. So the idea that anybody can, but a Pakistani who was really an Indian, I mean, a Bangladeshi is still an Indian person because I used to be part of India. They come into
Mm,
Africa, they can become rich. Just open a shop, Africans would give them all their money. He's an Indian at least. Hey, Mora, you know this motherfucker used to make less than you, making $2 a day.
mhm,
Do you know this African? Do you understand that? What? Yeah. Motherfuckers make $2 a day.
mm,
Now he's an African, he's rich. That's what like Maria said, all these bad Chinese they bring in the damn Africa, all these damn criminals that are broke as fuck. And like Seto said, they never leave. Of course, why would I leave Africa and I can get wealthy here? Because you niggas practice off code behavior. Why would I leave Africa? You're gonna patronize my store and make me rich. I was poor in China. I was in
mm.
poverty. I come here, you niggas worship me. It's the Chinese man. Then I get all the African coochie I want to. What? I get coochie land and money? You think I'm going back to China, Seto? You think I'm going back to a dirty rice paddy field in China? Are you crazy, nigga? And so now, as you see now, what is up, Maria? You got Ghanaians going crazy because now they realize they've been invaded by too many Chinese. say, say, see if you can find this spirit. Say Ghana protest Chinese people in Ghana. They like, hey, they like all of a sudden they're like, hey, there's too many Chinese motherfuckers up in here. Yeah, stupid. They plan to take over all of Africa, moron. They're not just in Ghana. They're in Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and they don't think they tribal. They don't care about you talk about they tribe. They know they want Chinese people. They're in Congo, South Africa, Namibia, Zambia. You can't go nowhere in Africa without tripping over a Chinese person. Shit. But the Ghanaians will say, hey, when we start getting so many Chinese people, they disrespectful, they racist. Go ahead.
I'm seeing Ghana's gold diggers, Chinese miners bring conflict over illegal mining. I'm just,
It might be on Google. Might not be on Google yet. It might be on Google. Yeah, but
I go,
they haven't protested in Ghana about too many Chinese people there taking over shit.
that's why the Chinese taking over that shit. And the Chinese are even mining their gold illegally.
Yeah. But that's weak African men. You can't go nobody else country and take people's shit. They know the African man is weak, Maria, so they don't give a fuck. The African man's a weakling, so he's gonna be treated like a weak. Like I was telling Joe, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna call a spade a spade. African. What happened when they came into Africa? And I'm just be honest. It's supposed to hurt your feelings. When it came to Africa, they killed the strong. The strong were the one fighting the Umzungu, or they took the strong into slavery to build their empires in America, Brazil, Colombia, Jamaica, everywhere they took them at. You kill the strong, and you breed the weak. So understand how conquering works. That's what it's called. I'm just giving you history. You kill the strong, and you
Kill
breed
the
the weak.
strong and breed the weak.
So
So
this is
that
what
should
you got in Africa. You got a bunch of weak ass men because you breed the weak. You kill the strong. The African fighters, I got to get rid of them. They're gonna breed other strong fighters who're gonna fight me for the continent. I'm gonna murder them and their whole families off. I'm gonna breed the weak. That's why you got a big male docile, a whole bunch of people in Africa docile. Oh, that lose you got the guys froze. Two. Are you guys back? You guys are back. Okay. Uh, so so imagine you kill the strong. So Because people don't the lies that they told about Africa, they just let they you just let these people in. No, you had wars throughout Africa. And since they
Mm,
had the gun and you did not, the strong
mm,
African men were murdered off in their families as well, brutally.
mm,
That's why you
mm,
got the heads of African warriors in Europe, the skulls. You know that,
mm,
right? You know they got your skulls in Europe, the skulls, the
mm-hmm.
head. These are
Yeah,
facts. Yeah, yeah, Maria knows. I don't know if Seto knows that. The skulls
mm,
of your warriors who fought them are in Europe. The skulls, the actual skulls. But they killed them,
mm,
they took their heads. See, most Africans don't even know that. That these skulls, they got hundreds of thousands of skulls of African warriors. So I kill the strong and I breed the weak. And so that's what you got now in Africa. The men are docile and weak. And they're considered docile and weak. So you have African women get beat, raped. These are acts of war with Arab men that they go to Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. These African women that get raped, beat. What do you hear? What do you hear from the continent? Oh, absolutely nothing. These are acts
mm,
of war, but you're too weak. So you'll have open slavery up in North Africa of African men and women and children from Libya, Algeria, parts of Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and you know what's going on. Where's the African man? Oh, absolutely nothing. You can't enslave another. So when we're talking about this crazy behavior that's going on now, because as you see in Israel, the whole Arab world is saying we're going to now invade Israel for killing Gaza. They're not saying, oh, those are God, those are people from Gaza, those are not us. They know those people are them. You got Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Algeria, Egypt, all now saying Libya, Lebanon, Syria, all saying we're now going to go to war with Israel. We're gonna go to war with you, motherfuckers. You don't stop killing our people in Gaza.
mm-hmm.
You hear the Africans say, they got people getting murdered in the Congo. Where these African niggas at? Where these ECOWAS who wanted to invade Niger and Mali for getting free of the white man? We're gonna go to war with you niggas because you got free of the white man. How dare you? Why would you want to go war with your people that I mean and understand these are literally you. I want to make this clear. These are literally you because these are these are literally you because these borders were made by white people. So these are the same tribes. Same tribes as in Nigeria is the same tribes as in Niger. Same tribes as in Ghana is the same tribes as in Guinea Faso. They're literally
Mm-hmm.
the same people. But the white man said, hey, you niggas got free. I want you other niggas to go and kill these other niggas for now getting free and creating a government and economy that actually works for African people. How dare you, dirty niggas? So now you were willing to go to war. You had Ghana, Nigeria, who else? Senegal, Gabon, Cameroon, all these bootlicking puppet ass niggas. We're gonna go to war against Niger and Burkina Faso. For what? For getting free? Yeah! How dare you niggas get free of the white man? How dare you? But you won't go to war of African men, women, and children being enslaved in these Arabic countries that were stolen by it's really Africa, but they were stolen lands from Arabs. You won't go to war for that, which is actually a war crime. You won't go do that. You won't go war when your women are getting beat, murdered, unalived in Arabia. You won't do that. But if the
Mm-hmm.
white man tells you go fight your own brother because he's trying to do something for his own people, stop exploitation. Oh, you'll do that then. Hey, boss, when we got to go to war, boss. White man, hey, boss, when we got to go to war, boss. Now you got open genocide in the Congo. Have you heard any of these puppet ass niggas say we got to put an end to it? No, they know what's going on. They know people being murdered and genocide in the Congo. Where's Nigeria? Where's Angola? Where's Zimbabwe? Where's Zambia? Where the
Mm.
fuck is Kenya? Huh? Where's Ghana? Where's Cameroon? Where's Namibia? Where's South Africa? Mum's the word. Say nothing. So that's called dirtbag behavior, as that
Mm.
Chinese man called it. You're ununited. You're disloyal. What loyalty do you have? You can't even look across the damn because some white man made a damn fake border. You don't know the motherfucker sitting in the Congo or you? You that fucking stupid? You can't tell the people in the Congo or you? You can't tell the people in Nigeria and Ghana and Uganda the same people? You can't see that? The white man got to come and tell you your fake ass borders. Now you're Uganda and you're Kenya. You're the same motherfucking people. There were no borders. Africans move freely throughout the continent. You can't look
Mm.
at another African and know he's you. Your customs are a little different because of the space. Because whatever place you settle, the land's going to be a little different. So your customs are going to be tied to that land that you're on. You can't see
Mm.
you're the same people. You guys got chiefs and kingdoms, the same shit. Variations of the same damn culture. Right? Think there's chiefs in goddamn Kenya, chiefs in Ghana, chiefs in Uganda, chiefs in Nigeria, chiefs in South Africa, chiefs in Namibia, chiefs in Zimbabwe, but you believe you're different people. Motherfucker, you got the same damn system. What are you talking about? So that's what the Chinese man was saying. He's like, hey, and then he told him, you're supposed to be dominated. I'm like, damn. That Chinese man was brutally, you're supposed to. Yeah, they told him to get, he wanted to go to, remember, he wanted to go to Ukraine and broker peace, but he won't do it in the Congo. And what the Ukrainians told his ass when he went there? Said, you dumb niggas, get out of here. That's what he said, you dumb niggas, get out of here. You ain't supposed to tell nobody white about doing shit. You dumb niggas, get out of here. You're broke, you're poor, and you're fucked up. And so they, it was disrespectful on a level. Yeah, you're broke, you're poor, and you're niggas. You don't got no damn gravitas. And you're right. They did go to Ukraine, but they won't go to the Congo. Exactly. This is what the rest of the world see. That these niggas are weak, they're stupid, they're feckless. But Ukraine just did it, but just nasty, brutal. Why are you niggas here? Don't come here. You're too stupid to know international problems. I'm like, God damn. This is 2023. They openly calling them stupid. Like, God. I mean, I said, damn, at least be fake about it. Like, say, we appreciate you coming, but no, go back home. We got it. They didn't say, they were offended, jibber jabber, that these niggas try to come and talk to people. Say, hey, you motherfuckers are niggas. You're backward. You're stupid. How the hell you gonna come teach us about doing anything? And people dominate you in your own country. You crazy coming up here? That shit. I was like, God damn. That racism was like in your face racism. What are you goofy niggas coming up to Ukraine to tell white people? We dominate you in your own country. How dare you niggas come up here trying to talk about peace? God dang. You goofy niggas, go back to your country. And you start. Remember, Ramaphosa said we want to talk about the grain and the grain. You goofy niggas can't even feed yourself talking about grain.
We are talking about the grain.
We're gonna talk about Africa gonna starve because they gotta release Ukrainian and Russian grain.
Also, like that thing also baffled me, like
Like
really.
all the medias were like Ukraine, they were putting the thing like it is in
Very
Africa, like,
important. There were
and
African
there is
people
a
can.
segment on the national TV
Mm.
in Uganda here. There is a segment for Ukraine war. whenever they're like giving out news bulletin,
Updates.
yeah, there is a segment for Ukraine.
Because
They tell
I
you
think a lot
we are taking you in a war zone in Ukraine. I say, how is this? Do we need
important.
this? Do we need?
We don't even see the war in Congo. Like our concentration is too much. Do you know even some people don't know there is war in Congo? Do you know that some Africans don't know that Congo
Yeah.
is not at
Mm.
ease?
And they have
But
never,
everyone knows about Ukraine and Russia because
Yeah.
the mainstream has made it up.
yeah, even when
Or-
it is, they have never presented those live streams like a
We
war
don't
zone
see
live,
the
yeah,
Congo things.
yeah, in Africa here.
They have never. We have never seen that, like people
Mm.
broadcasting that.
Mm.
You know, apparently now Congo is so close to Uganda. We should be knowing.
Mm.
Everyone should be involved. But we don't see that.
But you can ask like someone
because
can
your black lives don't matter, and you don't own your media.
Yeah,
Your black lives don't matter, Maria, and you don't own that media in Africa.
yeah.
Africans don't own their media. So and your life, so you're supposed to worry about white people. What about the war in Ukraine? You got Africans fighting about, hey, stop the war in
Did
Ukraine.
we show you? Didn't we show you the video of
Good.
Ugandans who are praying
Mm.
for Israel?
Mm.
They are praying for Israel. They've
Yeah,
never
totally.
prayed for Congo. They've never prayed
Nah,
for Congo.
because you that man that because you're a brainwashed slave. You've been taught to pray for your colonizers. And guess and check this out, Maria. These
Yeah.
people that you, these people that they praying for, these Israelis who are not even the original Jews, right? They don't. The Africans don't even know these people are Khazars. They're not even. They believe these people up there are the people of the Bible. They that damn stupid. But look, these people are the ones that cause the conflicts in Africa. These damn Israelis. They
Mm-hmm.
come to Africa. They're the ones that back what the apartheid regime in South Africa. These are facts. They
Can
backed it
you
and
imagine, kid? Can you imagine even you can ask a bricklayer in Uganda who doesn't have a TV about everything
Ukraine.
that is happening in
They
Ukraine
will
and
tell you the
Russia?
new
You ask
captures.
them everything that is happening in Palestine and
Mm.
Israel, they know. They don't have TV. They don't really have
But
TV. They're border people who are always on the streets with just small phones with radios. But because the medias in Africa have made this, seem like it's so important that I think at times Africans concentrate on things that don't benefit them. And the things that are part of them, they don't concentrate on that. And I know the African leaders know this, that we are so dumb. And this, by the way, this is one way you even control, you understand the people you are ruling. And I remember people are stupid, they're gonna shout about stuff and they will let it be. There are people who don't follow things that are very important. You see?
Kubukedde mobility yaabwe every day there is a segment for Ukraine. Now we are going back in the war zone.
Remember this TV is for the local people.
It is for and it is
Because
it is a government media house. Okay.
You can imagine.
But
But I know another reason why the mainstream of Uganda, more especially the government medias, will always broadcast about these wars to show that people, you see, in case you try to bring violence. So people will be like, no, we are not going to bring change because you know what's going on in Ukraine right now. Have you seen people on TV dying? Do you want people to die? So you must vote. Do you want people to die? So I guess at times it's a political thing. So I know at times it's a political thing.
Because why is it bad? In countries that are near, I've never seen any war like in Africa, apart from what was going on in Libya in 2011. They could give updates every day. A war in Libya.
All right, I'm back. My sound went out.
Where are you at?
Yeah. My sound went out. But yeah, so we're talking about what, like you said, they don't know about in the Congo because you're not supposed to know about yourselves. You're not supposed to practice loyalty and solidarity with other African people. That's how they keep you impoverished or religion. But like I was saying about Israel, now you can look this up. Israel was the number one backer of apartheid. Israel has one of the biggest diamond distribution centers on the planet. There are no diamonds in Israel. They're in Africa. So all the instability you see around diamonds in Africa, they cause it. the gold,
Mm,
because these are the same people that, remember I told you who created Israel, the Rothschild. Rothschilds
mm,
own what? All the banks. So these are people that, these are what you call the pretendians. Yeah, the Rothschilds own all your banks. So they don't want to get to print money from nothing, Seto. If I get to print money, say, hey, Seto, say, Keith, how much is this money worth? Whatever I say it's worth.
mm. That on Google it says that the world's largest rough diamond has been brought for polishing at the Israel Diamond Exchange.
Yes, the Israel Diamond Exchange, but there are no diamonds in Israel, Maria. All the diamonds
Yeah.
are where? Africa, in the
Mm,
Congo, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, too many African countries, Zimbabwe. But the thing is, but the distribution's not in Africa
and
because
of course
the, go ahead, go ahead, Maria.
it's just the Google when you ask that is Israel rich in diamond, they will say Israel is one of the diamond world's leading centers. I
Yeah,
have for both scroll a little bit back. I have for both trade and manufacture of polished diamond.
Diamond.
It's just a hub.
Mm, mm, mm.
So where the fuck are they getting these diamonds from?
you know where the fuck they getting them? What you mean? Where the hell? There's not no diamond mines in Israel, Maria. So
Where
that's why you
the
never to know that half the
But
problems
you see
are
the
started by the
countries
same.
they number themselves like cards.
Mm.
Idiot.
And you got and then you got these morons in Africa. Oh, I'm sorry, we need peace with Israel. Oh, Israel. Well, Israel's stealing out of Africa. That's like you said, like we said, where the fuck are they getting these diamonds? Where you think they getting them? They ain't getting them in Israel. Making billions of dollars off of African minerals. Like everybody. That's
Because
so
they're
that's
mainly on cutting and polishing of diamonds rather than mining. They don't
Mm.
mine gold. They got no gold. Israel's success is the diamond industry is due to several factors, including the country's high skilled workforce, advanced technology, and a long tradition of expertise in the fields. Israel diamond industry is highly specialized on focusing mainly on the cutting and polishing of diamonds rather
Rather
than
than
mining.
mining.
of course. The mine
Oh
is
God.
in Africa. You, where they paying the Congolese member $1. Not even $1 a day for those diamonds that they steal. And that's $1 trillion business. So like I told you, wonder why you broke in Africa. And then you got morons in Uganda. We stand with Israel. Well, Israel been raping the fuck out of Africa, stealing, killing, overthrowing people with the Mossad. That's why you heard Idi Amin and Marika looked us up in Google. Idi Amin knew that they wasn't no good. Idi Amin called them out. Idi Amin called them out because like he wasn't a moron. He knew what Israel's about. You could go look anything. That's Uganda. That's when Uganda had power. Had a man who cared, who knew, wasn't a moron. You would have nobody talking about we stand with Israel under no fucking Idi Amin.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you better get your fucking Ugandan mind right. Idi Amin told you these are bad people all throughout Africa, robbing and stealing. What you talking about?
Mm-hmm. What happened at Entebbe Airport, 1976? Scrolling down. I think that's when we are Benyunya. The airport was the site of an Israeli airborne commando raid
Yeah,
on the night
yeah, they
of
raided Uganda. And
1976.
yeah, but yeah, I forgot about that raid. They raided Uganda because Idi Amin had some Jews he wouldn't give back, and these are criminals. And so the Mossad came in and raided Uganda and got those terrorists out. Yeah, that clip is on YouTube. It is on YouTube. It is that clip. I must say that clip is on YouTube where Idi Amin is saying that Israelis aren't no good. They cause trouble in Africa. But you think
Mm.
Museveni's a puppet? He knows that, but he knows to shut his fucking mouth. And they got all these morons in Uganda and in part of Africa. We stand with Israel. They're the people of the Lord. They're the Lord. Yep, they the Lord while they steal all your shit. You poor as fuck. And they got all the wealth. As Maria just read. Maria's response was honest. What? Where the fuck are they getting all these diamonds? They don't got no diamond mines, I tell you that. You go to Israel, it's developed, and Africa ain't. Figure it out.
Bro was rough. This man didn't
But you,
want
but you got
nonsense.
morons. You got morons in Africa. We stand with Israel. Yeah, we stand with them to keep robbing our stupid black asses. Yes, we do. Keep robbing us, Israel. Thank you. Seto moms out there. Seto, you coming over here and you stand with Israel, boy. Mom, they're robbing from Uganda. You don't think they're not Uganda? They already know when Miss 70 says the big old gold mine in Uganda. You better believe they down there. They already down there. Hey,
Coming in.
they already down there. Hey, 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 what are you doing here in Uganda? Nigga, you know we're here for that gold. You know what we're here for. So stop being stupid. We're here for that gold. Said those mom. Said those mom say, Seto, 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 don't you see I'm marching for Israel, boy? Come on out here. Come on out here, Israel. Come on out here, Seto. We stand with Israel. But mom, they've been stealing and robbing from us. I don't know what you're talking about. You better get your mind right. Mom, remember you were a kid and Idi Amin was the president? I was too young. I don't remember all that. He talked about these people. Well, that's why they got rid of him, because he was going against the Lord's will. Idi Amin was going against the Lord.
Very controversial. Because yari mu kibuga ne mama yari mu kibuga mama yagamuwasa abasirikare nk'amwana muto. It's crazy. And by the way, most of Africans don't know that they have gold in China. They don't know. Some of them have even never seen how gold looks like. That's why you have a bishop with their gold.
So you see what Maria said? Maria's honest. That's the same thing Joby said. That Joby said we used to have this gold mine in our town, but nobody knew what it was. Right? Then a South African company came in and stole the land and said, and then put these niggas to work in Kenya for a little bit of money as they mine the gold and become wealthy. I said, hey, they kept Africans ignorant on purpose. They don't know. It's it's crazy. Then the South, and then when the Africans realized what it was in Kenya, they'd already paid off the government. And so the people start protesting. We supposed to have more money. This is gold. They said, shut up, you stupid niggas. It's too late. We got it now. You work or you get off. You work or you get off our land. That's what the white man said. That was the South African. That was the South African man said. It was a video truth. He said, you work or you get off our land. And all the black people can't. Those our land. That was our land. It ain't no more, you goofy niggas. You're too stupid. You're too stupid.
Can you imagine? There is gold, but now people don't really know how it looks like. So it's true that I was hearing about us out from the dark.
Now imagine you grow up in Africa and you're not. And shout out to South Africans who said you said that. Imagine you grow up in Africa and you're not being taught. You're not being taught in your schools the worth of the minerals that's on the continent. You're not being taught how to mine it, how to build businesses, how to sell it. But you're taught about Jesus all damn day. You're taught about Jesus and gold in heaven. You got gold in the ground around you. I gotta wait till I die to get my gold in heaven. Hey, goofy nigga. Hey, goofy nigga, you got gold around you on the ground. You ain't gotta wait to get to heaven. You got gold on the ground around you, you goofy nigga. So why don't you got schools in Africa teach you about the mineral wealth that you have? How to mine it, how to refine it, how to make finished goods. Like Maria just said. Why don't you got polishing and distribution centers in Africa? You the one got the diamonds. Why you don't got the polishing and the distribution there? Where you get to make the trillions and not the damn Israelis. What's this? Why you not taught that in your school? But you're taught about, I need to know about Genesis and the Lord and praying to Jesus. What about the diamond business, nigga? It's making trillions of dollars for other people. You talking about you learning about the Lord. I'm learning about the Lord. I'm learning about the Lord.
Huh?
I'm like
What
I
are
said,
you
I learned about the Lord and how Jesus
eating?
walked, how
What are
Jesus,
you eating?
how
What are
Jesus,
you eating?
how Jesus walked across water. How about you? How about you don't tell me about the Lord and tell me how to goddamn mine these diamonds?
Kid, what are you eating?
Oh, I was eating some potato chips. I was eating some chips. I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating popcorn today. I tried to find some, but they didn't have none. I stopped over just to get some popcorn too, for real. I said, "Lady, y'all got no popcorn. Y'all got none of the popcorns." She said, and she and she came, and she came out and looked. She said, "No, we got popcorn." I said, "No, you don't." I was looking for the popcorn in the bag. I said, "You don't got it." She walked around like she said, "Oh, you're right, we don't got it." I said, "No, I just had a taste for popcorn. Ever since I ever since I hired Seto, I had a taste for popcorn now all the time." They brought us the popcorn. They brought us they brought us the popcorn, Seto, the popcorns. So so I mean chips because they had no damn popcorn. Don't it make you mad? You go someplace, you think you're gonna get what you want, they don't got this shit. You gotta substitute it for something you didn't really want. I didn't really want no chips. I wanted the popcorn, but they ain't had none. Seto and them ate it up before I got there. him and his priest friends. Them priests with the popcorns. So, guys, yeah. Uh yeah, so I'm eating chips, but Africans have got to wake up. I'm glad the youth are starting to understand. That was a question I seen in TikTok live talking to these South Africans. Said, why are we talking about Jesus all the damn day? We're not talking about none of our damn minerals, our gold, our cobalt, our diamonds, our oil. And so we're being taught to work for other people. You go to German and British and American schools, they're taught how to mine minerals. The kids are. So he said, now we're being taught to be slaves for white people to come back and work for them in Africa. So that's what I'm saying. Africans don't need to wait to go to heaven to get gold. Hey, goofy nigga, you got gold around you on the ground. You ain't got to wait to go to heaven. You got gold there. And shout out to Edie, I mean, and that's why they hated him, Jibber Jabber, because these cats own the damn planet with their banking scheme. Edie Amin would tell you the truth. These people are wicked people. They come and steal out of Africa. They mad because I won't allow them to steal out of Uganda. They're not stealing here. And got to ask me why I kick out the Indians. I kick their ass out because Africans need to have those jobs. We're in Africa. I can't go to India and have these jobs. So why should an Indian be in Africa and have these damn jobs but not African people? That's right, Edie Amin. That's right. That's right. See, that's what happens when you don't have a puppet leader. If you have a puppet leader, he said, you know what? Uganda's supposed to belong to Ugandans, not Chinese in the swamps making their nasty rice, or the Indians, or these other people. You know, Uganda is actually supposed to belong to Africans, and they're supposed to be the creators and the owners of industry. You know, and what the hell happened? You guys cut the stream off? What'd you guys do?
The camera. Yeah.
Oh, like what the hell happened?
Yeah.
I thought Edie Amin. I thought the ghost of Edie Amin showed up or something. Shit. I thought the ghost of Edie Amin showed up and said, "Seto, where's your mama? I'm gonna beat her ass." The
But
Yeah.
wow.
A lot, by the way. During Amini stay, my mom was like, when Amini came to power, that is 1971. My mom was like 10 to 9 years there. Yeah. So
Kajya
she,
umwana aba yarababiki.
yeah, she yari yategeye. Yeah, she was 9, 10.
Innocent's mom doesn't like Idi Amin.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. You know, he was. You know, he was a strong. See that you get rid of the strong, Maria. You know what I mean? Was a strong African leader.
They were plotting all this.
Yeah, they are plotting all
But
that.
the common minds of people, they can't understand, they can't interpret all this. Yeah.
They are plotting. Because, first of all, like, I've seen this technique being used all over Africa. I mean, the world, I guess, politically. A lot of people, first of all, they make the people hate the government.
Mm.
So after, because during the days of Idi Amin, yes, I had his rough moments, but he was someone who was very principled, about a lot of things. First of all, Idi Amin was someone who, there are things that he supported. Do you know you would get arrested if you eye someone's wife?
Mm.
If Amin sees you, you are trying to fantasize someone's wife, like these men who keep on looking at women. And that was the law. You don't look unless someone is not married. But how can such a person be a rapist again? That was raping people's wives. Was there is a lot of contradictions.
There is a plot that was plot. I just think it was a plot. Like a bus of nurses was raped by soldiers. They claimed but they claimed to be the government soldiers.
Which wasn't
Yeah,
true.
so that to make the government fall.
A lot was being done during the Idi Amin's regime. First of all, you would look at someone's discipline and how someone views things. Then you know that this person is capable of doing this, and someone, Amin was a very principled person. He supported polygamous. He was like, if you want to have sex with the woman, you marry her. That his leadership didn't only stop in the White House, but it also extended in the social organization of the citizens of Uganda. That it is okay for a man to marry one woman. For him, he believed that this can help a man not to commit, a lot of sexual crimes. If you feel like you want a woman, marry her. That was for Idi Amin. So how can such a man again go around and be raping a bus of nurses? It doesn't make sense to me. But we all know the people who are committing those crimes We all know the people who are committing those crimes. And actually, a few people got to understand what this was about. And I know people are realizing this later on now. You see, because of recent, there are scenarios that have been happening in Uganda, and to me, I feel like have you ever read that book? It's called The Master Seed. There is that book that talks a lot about the current government, the history of the current government. It's called The Master Seed. So there is a lot to it. When you read that book, you get to understand that whoever is fighting this current government behind the shadows, leaving alone the US involvement with Bobby Wine and stuff like that. But with a lot that is going on, is definitely someone who was with him in the bush. Because there are a lot of acts that are going on that we saw during the days of Idi Amin. So at times, which keeps me wondering, two-way, could this be, because Idi Amin was not loved by the colonial masters or the Westerners. They really wanted him down. The Bazungu didn't want to see Idi Amin in power. And we also know that the current government came into power because of the influence of the Western world. So though now probably they have used them finish, like the Nigerian says, now they are dumping them. Now we are seeing them, fighting, pondering head bullshit, motherfucker. Jargons and children understand that I'm going to go to the cell. All right, so we shall be going now for a short break. We shall be back. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chief Jabba, for being here with us, and thank you whoever's been watching. Thank you, Keith. Robert Williams, thank you so much for being with us here on Black Hole Fire Network. And I Can Fire. Thank you so much, guys. We're looking forward to having you guys yet on another segment today. Here on Black Hole Fire Network with me, Africa Maria, and my colleague
INNOSSETU.
We are saying ciao ciao until next time.